Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Good Headspace with me, your host Radhika Vaz. On today's episode, we're going to talk about happy marriages, and joining me is Anshu. Already started laughing. Anshu Mor, my happily married comedian friend. Welcome.
Thank you so
Anshu.
much. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Good Headspace. So, would you say you're happily married?
Do you think I'll say no?
He's a diplomatic chap. Do you think your wife is happily married?
I don't think so.
No, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I feel like I am happily married. It's taken me, how long have you been married?
27 years.
So I'm married 20 years. This is my
Wow.
21st, right? So we are veterans at this now.
I've been married longer than you?
Yeah, you have probably.
Oh, I use hair dye. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
That
yeah.
explains it, yeah.
Oh, how honest of you.
I know.
Not everyone is as honest as Anshu. No, my husband and I would say I am happily married. And I think he might be too, but I do believe that the reason that we are happy is because we're okay with being bored.
I think that's the secret to being married for long.
It is the secret to
Yeah,
being married for
absolutely.
to the same person for a long time.
Yeah.
Like if you want to keep switching it up, then just don't worry about it. Be as excited as you need to be. But I feel like to be married for a long time,
You have to be bored.
you
and
just have to
comfortable.
be comfortable with like high threshold of boredom.
Which year did you hit this
This realization,
nirvana state?
I probably hit this realization about 2 or 3 years ago. Before that, there had been the battle
okay.
for
So
excitement.
18 years of
It took me a
excitement.
long time. I'm a slow learner.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
I think we were done. I guess after 10 years, we were like, yeah, okay, this is it.
How old are your kids?
So I have one son. He's 24.
Okay.
So he got married very early, had a kid very early.
Off the kid out.
Yeah. Had a kid very early. And I think the kid kept it exciting.
Yeah, of course, because there's so much stress around raising a child.
Yeah, and
so
when he grew
you're
up-
not paying any attention to the other person
Yeah.
other than to be like, stay there so that in case I need to pass this over, there's someone there. Like, let's just stay alive till this thing can take a little bit of, little care of itself.
Yeah. So I think we've had few phases. So
Yeah.
first was the initial phase of getting married and all
Yeah.
excitement and
Yeah.
all that love and all was
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Then we had a kid.
Were you guys together for a while before you got
Yeah,
married?
we were dating for about 2 years. We were in the same MBA
Okay.
class.
All
Whatever.
right.
So we had this exciting phase,
Yeah.
and then we had a kid. So
Yeah.
this was this raising the kid phase, and then he grew up, and we were like, okay, let's keep a dog to keep the marriage alive.
Yeah.
So then we kept a dog,
Yeah.
and the dog kept us busy.
Yeah.
And now the son has grown, like he's 24.
Yeah.
So his life is very exciting to us now. It's very different, right?
So these are theories that we have, okay? So please don't come at us with your anti-marriage thing. We're not anti-marriage.
No, why
okay?
theory?
We're
Let's take the claim.
Fine.
This is how to have a
this is how
successful
we
marriage.
think. Okay, this is what. Yeah, this is our advice to all Indians, everybody out there.
Have a child,
I
keep a
think
dog.
I blame. Let me put it this way. I just think that social media has really messed up people's expectations of what a marriage should be. Having said that,
Yeah.
I got married way before social media,
Same here,
and
yeah.
my expectations were equally stupid. You sound like a more intelligent person. Your wife also sounds more grounded. But I definitely, we always say things like, when someone comes and says, I'm getting married, how exciting.
Yeah.
These are the words that come out of people. So getting married, how exciting. I'm planning my wedding, how exciting. So we put this on people that this is going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
And when it stops being exciting, which is 3 years in, okay, I feel like 36 months is the threshold for excitement. You can't be excited.
You're done with all the surprises.
Because excitement by nature, it changes the body composition of a human being. It is the same, the chemicals coursing through your veins when you're excited are the same chemicals that course through your veins when you're in danger.
See, the most technical podcaster ever.
I cannot tell you how much research I've done about this. I wanted to come to the table with some scientific proof of what I think. Okay?
I've just come
And
with
it's
experience
true.
here.
The chemicals are the same as when you're in danger and you're in high stress. Yes.
Oh, the excitement.
Yes, what happens to a human when you're excited, aroused, whatever you want? It's the same fucking thing. Can you imagine being in a high stress state for more than 3 years because of one person?
Yeah. The way you make it sound, the 3 years is also a lot.
Even that's a lot. But somehow I find that 3 years is when everyone's like, oh, this is it.
You just get used to it. No?
Sort of, and that may be when you have a question of.
But I think, I think people have too many expectations
Yes.
from marriage now. And like you said, now this whole social media thing,
Yes.
they have. I think also the younger generation, the ones who are getting
Yeah.
married now,
Yeah.
have gotten married in the last 5-7 years.
Yeah.
They know too much.
Well, that's good then, because they will be listening to us and they'll
Yeah.
know too much and they'll know that it's...
No, they know the other side. I mean, this whole, they've seen too much, they've read too much, they're way too intelligent.
We were innocents.
We were very innocent
Naive
going in.
idiots.
Yeah.
We
We just
were
went
naive.
into it and we like, yeah, we'll figure this out.
You know, my husband and I got married. So we'd been together for also quite a while before we got married.
Yeah.
So we had actually exhausted the excitement before we got
Before
married.
marriage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we got married, I remember he and I had a massive fight a couple of months into it. And he said these words to me, which are the only smart words he's ever said. But he said, you know, the difference between you and me is that I got married thinking that it was the start to something. Whereas you got married because it was the end game. That's all you wanted to do was get married. And now you're fucking disappointed. And I was like, what? Shit, you're wrong and everything. But he was right. And that's literally how stupid I was. I was like, I'm married. Like why am I not? Yeah, this is what? Do people don't know I'm married? I'm like, I'm supposed to be like, something's supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
And I feel my expectations were completely dictated by fiction.
Yeah.
You know, like by what was going on in People magazine. The one thing that I definitely feel has changed, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm only noticing it now, but I really feel like these celebrity marriages are held up as such examples to couple goals. Like random people are like following. We got so, like I remember people were so upset when like Brangelina broke up or Bennifer. I'm like, there was too much excitement.
Yeah.
That's why they broke up. Like
that's the information I was talking about. They know too much now about other marriages, about couples.
But they still don't get it because they're still excited by that, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like any celebrity marriage that didn't work out, it was because there was too much excitement in that marriage. Brangelina, fucking Kim and Kanye.
Yeah.
The moment there's too much excitement, Jennifer Lopez and everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, the moment there's too much excitement.
We only had Charles and Diana at that time, no? Our time.
Yeah, and look at where they went. They didn't work out. They did not fucking work. Yet. Camilla Parker Bowles and Charles, boring.
Yeah, but nobody talks about it.
Lasts a lifetime.
Yeah. But they should talk. But there should be a documentary on a boring marriage. Just Camilla and Charles. Just
we don't want that. We want to be excited and we want everything to just fall apart, and that's the only thing
that's
we
a
want.
function of our world
it's
that we live
so stupid.
in now.
We're so bad.
Yeah.
But like if you think about Jay-Z and Beyonce, very excited, then they had problems. And now they're very boring, and they're going to go the distance.
Yeah, anytime you get bored, you're going to go the distance. If
but you
you're
have
okay
to
with
accept it.
Yeah, you have to
so
accept
Jay-Z
it.
wasn't accepting.
Yeah.
Now he's accepted.
Yeah.
Beyonce accepted him from the word go.
I think we have now reached a stage where somebody was asking me the other day, says, do you and your wife talk? I said, of course, with others.
I thought you say something else.
Yeah, so we've exhausted the excitement part between us.
Yeah.
And we are also now okay with not the that way excitement, not the sexual types, but we are okay with both of us going into separate directions.
So I'm just thinking, like, the way I look at it now, okay, is that you have the two people and then you have the marriage.
Yeah.
It truly is a separate thing from the two people.
Individuals,
Right? From the individuals. And I just feel like you don't have to be boring people.
Yeah.
You can both be extremely interesting, fun, cool people, but you don't need your marriage to be supercharged with excitement. So you can both pursue different things, grow, become more and more interesting as the years go by, and maybe you can individually find even excitement from one another, but the marriage itself as an institution needs to be, for it to be solid, needs to be boring.
Yeah, because look at it this way, right? Where does most of the conflict in marriage come from? It would be, especially, after you've done your 7-8 years or whatever, even 3 years for that matter, it is, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You should be a part of it.
Yes.
Right? And you should be just as excited as I am about either my career or my friends or, what I want to do at vacation.
I think the whole thing of excitement also comes from what do people think of our marriage. Like, I do believe that social media has made marriages performative.
Yeah, it is.
Okay?
Yeah. Right from the start. From the event itself.
From the moment you get engaged.
Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah. So we want everyone, not only do we want to be excited, we need everyone watching us to know that we are excited.
Yeah.
We are excited, exciting sexual beings, and you're my best friend and my lover and my companion and the best dad in the world. And no man can bear the burden of that, ladies. No man can be all these things to you at once.
Thank you for saying that.
You're
On behalf
very
of
welcome.
all the
I
men.
want to take some pressure off the brothers. Because, you know, I remember the time when it was like tall, dark and handsome was enough. Now it's like tall, dark, handsome and exciting.
Yeah.
How much do you need a man to do?
In fact, you know, every time now at parties, if I see a couple overdoing this exciting thing, for me, it's like things are not going well.
They better be really young, because if they're my age, I'm going to vomit in my mouth.
Yeah. I mean, the first 5 years
I
is
can't
still
take
okay.
it.
Maybe 7 years is still okay. But if you're overdoing it after that, then there is some problem in the marriage. Then
Let me
you're just
ask you
showing it
this
to the world,
question.
like you said.
Okay, but do you think it's worse to be overdoing it at the party or overdoing it on social media?
Both are the same to me.
Both are disgusting.
If you're overdoing it on either like
Yeah.
social media platforms or you're doing it in front of public, either which way, you're just showing a thing which is not there.
It's not
you
there,
do not
right?
have a exciting
No one
marriage.
believes you.
Yeah, nobody believes you. I don't know why they do it. It's actually
Why do they do it?
I don't know. I think the insecurity.
Insecurity,
Yeah.
right? Like, I need to show you people
That I have a beautiful
that
marriage.
my man
He's gonna hold my hand.
worships
and,
me.
yeah. So they will be all this excited. They will be excited at the parties. They will do all this honey, sweetie, whatever nonsense.
Yeah.
And then on the drive back,
Yeah.
there'll be dead silence in the car. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the case, or I just know it makes me annoyed.
Yeah.
It makes me very, very annoyed.
I find it amusing now. I find marriages very amusing now.
Yeah. I guess other people's, right?
Even our marriage now, I find it extremely, like the other day I was thinking, my son had gone to Goa for a vacation.
Is he married?
No,
Okay, fine.
way. Yeah.
I mean, you guys
Imagine he's now at the age where Monica got
Yeah,
married.
that's why I asked the question.
We can't even imagine
By
him
the way,
being
but they're
married
getting
right now.
they are getting married young these
Are
days.
they?
Like I feel like
Is that a new trend?
It's a trend
Did
because
we
I
miss
feel
it?
like just after us, everyone started waiting a while. I got married in my early 30s, and so was my husband. We're the same age. But I do feel like a lot of people were 30s,
Yeah, the
30s,
next-
30s.
yeah,
It
the
felt
next generation
and now
was 30.
suddenly it's feeling like there's a turn back.
Really?
Yeah. Justin
shit.
Bieber, Hailey Bieber, you know what I mean?
So my son's going to get married now?
He might, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's learnt his lesson. But go on, he's had to live with the two
He's
of you.
seen such an ideal marriage.
Yeah, he's seen the ideal
between the
marriage, right?
parents.
Yeah, so sorry, he was going to Goa.
So he had gone to Goa and we had nothing to do at home there.
Wow.
And then we were playing with the dog, obviously,
Yeah.
and he was keeping us busy. And then I was thinking that in the love or caring hierarchy, it is, for Monica, it is my son.
100%.
Then the dog.
Yeah.
Then possibly the domestic help.
Yes. 1000%. Not possibly.
And then maybe me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Are her parents still alive?
To her parents then.
They're in there. Does
Mom,
she have
dad.
siblings?
Yeah, brother. Shit, yeah. Really, thank you so much for bringing me right down there.
Okay, so I have a point about that though.
Yeah.
Okay, that was something I wanted to bring up. So one of the things I feel like we've sold as a society to all of us, to ourselves, is that marriage has to be the number one relationship. Like your nuclear family and your marriage, that has to be like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yet technically we all know it's not.
It has to exist, in my view.
But why does it have to be the most important? So I'll give you an example. I know for a fact that if, say, you could only take one holiday a year, most people would have to do it with their spouse. They would
Is it
choose
a have
to
to or
do
you
it.
would like to do it with your
I don't know
spouse?
about like
No?
to. I mean, how many
I
of
would
us
still-
really would like to?
I would still.
Like my husband and I have very different interests. He's, loves to ski. He likes to do these insane, like, triathlon kind of long cycle rides and things like that. He has a
And
group
you're a
of people.
comedian.
And I'm a comedian. Exactly. I have bad feet and, whatever
Coffee shop.
knees. And it's like, no. So he has groups of people that he can do this with. If he had to pick one holiday in the year, like if literally
would do
we
this?
could... And I don't blame him.
Okay.
That's what he likes to do.
But the thing is this.
Listen, I would fight with him. I'm not saying that this is some perfect union over here. We would have a huge fight, but if
you
he
won't
did
break up
that,
a marriage because of that.
No, how would I?
So here's my thing, right? Either which way, whether you want to do that one vacation with your spouse, or both
saying
of them
you
are doing
have to.
both of them are doing separate vacations, or if you're okay with that idea, eventually, okay,
Yeah.
right? It's not a relationship
Yeah.
breaker. It's not, you won't go to your therapist and start discussing it. I think it's cool.
But here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I actually think it's something we've made important. So it's kind of like I have to take that holiday with you because you are the most important person in my life. And you are the most important person in my life because society has told me that you are the most important in my life. When in actual fact, you are not the most important person in my life. My freaking son is more important.
Yeah.
My cleaning lady is more important. My driver is more important. My parents are more important. Some of my fucking friends are more important. You know, I'm jealous. I am so but we have to go on the holiday together because motherfucker, if I don't do that, people will think we have a bad marriage.
I don't think so. Like, at least in my opinion, at least with us,
Yeah.
if there was one vacation,
Yeah.
I would take it with Monica. Shit, that sounds so romantic.
No,
but
that's
it is not.
cute.
But I would take it because I actually enjoy vacations with her.
I'm sorry, babe, but I'm not going to be taking the.
Yeah. But and if she told me that she wants to, let's say, go out on a solo trip or with her friends or whatever,
you'd be fine with that.
I'd be absolutely cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if she could only do that one trip a year and she's like, babe, this year I got to go with my friends? Would you be like, I don't think so?
No.
No, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'll still be okay with it.
I feel I would still fight with the husband, but I would have to be okay with it.
I'm just thinking, am I too good a husband?
You might be too good a husband.
So maybe I'm pretending.
Joking.
You never know, yaar. Maybe I'm pretending.
No, I don't think you've been put up against, your back's not been up against the wall yet.
Actually, she's very uncomplicated for me.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe your backs have not been up against the wall. Like, we only know how we're going to behave when we're actually put in the situation.
Yeah, I've not been put in the situation, for sure.
So, Atul and Ruchu are close friends. So, we have close couple friends in. Are you just friends with Atul or are you friends with Ruchika?
Atul. I just met her
She's a
once or
fucking
twice.
bitch anyway. No, I'm just kidding. So, she is actually...
This clip you're going to send it to him.
This is 100% staying in. She's a very dear friend of mine, known her for many, many years. And she and I have actually had, not fights because we don't fight about this stuff.
How's their marriage going? Let's discuss them.
I'm sure it's awful, just like mine. But they have a child now, so there's some excitement, right? But she and I have actually had like arguments because I'm like, why are we doing these couples trips? Like, why? Why are these men coming with us? Like, okay, children under the age of 10, I'll suffer it, okay? Because they may have to come with their mothers. But why are the husbands coming? I was here before the fucking husbands. I was here before the children. But like I said, the children need you. And so I'm willing to tolerate them up to a point. Husbands don't need you. Why are they on our trip? And she's like, no, I agree
Atul,
with
we
you.
need to talk.
Yeah, I know. Atul and my husband and all of them. I'm like, why are they on these trips with us? So I think it's because, we've been told number one, because if marriage is not the number one, then it is going to be, abused. I know why we think that, but I guess we put everything into a marriage, right? We have financial. No, one second. We put all our eggs in one basket. Like our socialization, our emotional health, our freaking financial health. It's all together with this one person. So now we're like, I don't want to go on holiday with you. Then is the basket in good shape?
It should be in good shape. That's my view.
Be.
These kind of issues, like if you start going on a separate holiday in your first year of marriage, there is a problem, right? If there was only one vacation.
Is there though?
In the first year, come on, first year.
But maybe you're going on the holidays not because you don't want to hang out with each other, but because you don't like the same things.
In the first year?
Deepak and I went skiing in Vail, 4 days. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I don't have to ski again in my life.
Maybe. But you got to be super understanding for all of these things. That's my point. See, I have a theory that I have not met.
Yes.
And this may sound very weird.
Yes.
I have not met people who are normal.
Yeah.
And unmarried.
Yeah.
Beyond 45 years of age. Like if they're 45 plus.
Yeah.
And if they've remained unmarried.
Yeah.
There is something always wrong.
Okay, see, I disagree with you because I have way too many friends who are over 50 and who've never been married.
That's because you have friends now, huh? They would be listening to the podcast.
No, they don't listen to my podcast. They're actual friends, so they don't care. They literally don't care. Only my fans listen to my podcast. No, I have a lot of friends who are single and will probably never get married over 50 because I'm over 50, so a lot of my friends are in that group. Many have got divorced.
Divorce is a separate issue. Unmarried forever.
But what about just gender
Divorce is that
relationship?
whole-
Okay, but why do you think what is wrong with them?
I think till about 45
Yeah.
or maybe even 50 now,
Yeah.
it is all okay. Right? Like you have friends and you have... Then everybody, the married people,
Yeah.
they get busy with their own life and their kids and this stuff. And eventually you are very lonely in the end. That 50 to 70, 75,
Dude,
you'll be super lonely.
You could fucking die. We walk out of here and your wife's
Yeah,
gonna
which
be
is
what,
okay.
on
Which is,
her
I
own?
mean, then you'll be lucky if you die at 45 and you remained unmarried.
She'll be even more lucky.
Yeah,
She
who
gets
knows?
to do this the second time with a
Who
nicer
knows?
guy.
But I feel that the importance of marriage,
Yeah.
when you were saying now that is it
Yeah,
social
yeah.
pressure
Why is
or
it
whatever,
number one? Why is
it's
it number
the
one?
ending, it's the last quarter of your life. That's when you need, I mean, you could die and you could still be
So
lonely
see,
or whatever.
I feel like that's when I need my friends. That's why I want to invest in my friendships now and go on those fucking holidays
if they
with
hang
them.
around, if they
with
hang
them.
around, yeah, if they hang around.
I don't know, and I want
Actually,
to.
they
I want to
would.
have these conversations. Like I want us to realize that we are putting too much pressure on that one dude. Like my husband.
But why do you
definitely,
think it's pressure?
Because my health is not that great.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be around as long as my husband would like me to be for company.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's important for him to go on his skiing trips with his healthy friends with good
Yeah.
hips and nice knees, so that when they are old and I'm gone, he has a little group. And I want the same for me, because I just feel like putting all our eggs in one basket with one person is not. So I actually think the people who didn't get married are the smart ones, because they've invested in friendships. So they've got loads of people. So when they get old, they're going to have a group.
Loads of people now go away very quickly. Like
We need to do this podcast every 10 years. The Anshu and Raz.
You won't hang around, no? You just said you have
I
witnessed.
may not be here next decade. Yeah,
I'll just
I
be
don't
down
have
to
a
the
lot
chair.
of. Yeah, it may just be down to the
It'll
chair.
still be your podcast.
I'll leave my notes with someone healthy. I'll be like, just check in with that dude.
Sorry, these are just comedian talk here.
Just stupid talk. But it's fine. It's fine. I definitely. Yeah, we definitely
like
disagree
when
on
I
this.
meet, and there are very few that I've met actually.
Yeah.
But when I meet these people now, who are like unmarried and who
Single.
had this whole single thing,
Yeah.
and you know that this is what true life is. And you meet them at this 45-year plus stage at a party. In like 5 minutes, I'm like, dude, I can't tolerate you. Not because they're saying anything negative about marriage or whatever, but it's just they become like, I don't know, a little irritating.
Oh, really?
And again, not the ones who have had a relationship or gotten into marriage, gotten divorced. That experience is very different.
Yeah.
But I'm saying those who've never gotten married, no?
Yeah.
They somehow, maybe it's not the right word, not capturing the emotion correctly, but there is a little bit of a bitterness in them about life as such. This is my view. This is like 100% of the people that I met.
Anshu's friends, you guys are the ones, okay?
Those guys are not even my friends
You
anymore.
are the, you
I
are
can't
the
tolerate
people.
them.
You are the people. See, I don't have that experience. I think, well, for one thing, most of my friends are women.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of them hit 40 or 45, say, and are single. And they've actually worked through the pressure of society to get married. Because for women, it's very strong, right? Especially because you can't have kids after a certain point. That's the only reason it's very strong. Men, it's not that strong because even when he's 60, he can hook up with a 25-year-old, so whatever. So for women, it's very strong. And so when they hit 40, 45, I find that a lot of my women friends have processed this pressure from society and they built lives that they're very happy with. And there is no bitterness. The bitterness I'm actually finding more and more with the married people who made the wrong choice, and which you clearly have not. And the bitterness is now beginning to annoy everybody. But, you know, I just went on this holiday and there were a couple of our single friends with us who were great. Like, I didn't find them to have any negative feelings at all. They were enjoying their lives. The same way I was enjoying my boring marriage.
Professionally, I'm sure they would. But aren't they lonely?
No, because we're all going on trips together. And like day to day, come on.
Day to day?
Yeah, but how much
Trips
time?
is like how many days in a year? Let's say 10, 15, 20 days in a year. What are they doing for the rest of the time when they come home?
But see, I feel like you can be lonely in a marriage too, right? Like you're looking at married people thinking that they're simpatico. We know for a fact that many are not. So just because you're married,
no. So okay, let's segregate this, right? One, let's not even a great marriage, let's assume a normal marriage.
A boring, happy marriage.
Boring, happy marriage, has its own issues, both are
whatever.
comfortable, they're working it out, whatever, right? It's a normal marriage. And then there are these marriages with massive issues. Right? I'm not talking about this. If you have a normal marriage and you compare it to somebody who's single and later stage of life, right? In your 20s, absolutely okay, obviously, 30s is okay, 40s is okay.
I know what you're saying, Anshu.
At some point, you would come to an empty home.
But I think that's that is a mindset. Yeah, I think that's a mindset. Sense? In a sense that there are some people who are very comfortable with their own company. They really are. They have a full life, professionally, socially. They have amazing hobbies. They travel a lot on their own with other people. They have, I think, in some sense, they're not dependent emotionally at all or for anything on another person. They've become self-sufficient in that way. I do believe that. I know a lot of people who are like that. So that's why I think my experience has been different.
So all of us are like that, right? As comedians, it's a lonely life. From morning to evening to whatever, right?
I am not like that.
You're pretty much alone.
I am not like that though. I am not like that. Like
you need people?
I need people. I am afraid of loneliness. I have a lot of issues around that. I definitely was one of those people who 100%, I'm an only child. And I think that for me, getting married was trying to like buffer this only child vibe. Okay, so now I'm like, oh, my parents have another child. It's like I married him so that they could have another kid.
Also, were you scared of loneliness later on in life?
I was scared of loneliness all the time. So and it was subliminal. It wasn't something that I was fully aware of even until now. I've done a lot of therapy and so on and so forth. So I know what my issues are. And I think that if you meet single people like me, they may have some issues. But I just feel like...
I'm sure there are others also. As in, there's a different kinds. But I think what they
also
put up in front of the world...
A lot of people live at home with their families for many, many, many years. So like, they actually aren't lonely. They go home to mom and dad or to mom or to dad or to uncles and aunts. And they live in close quarters.
I still feel you need something. I mean, you could... I don't know. I've felt that there is... When you come back home... Even if nothing is happening.
Dogs? No.
Even if nothing is happening at home, right? Even if you're sitting in two separate rooms, doing your own shit, whatever, you still need... That's why I'm very pro-marriage. I'm like,
he's pro-marriage.
Get married. Get married because initially it doesn't matter, but later on you need that person who's there in a good marriage. Right? Again, I'm putting that thing, not bad marriage, nobody gives a fuck. But if it's a good, normal marriage, you need that one person who's very, very with you.
Okay, now let me ask you a question on that. Let's talk about this.
Now,
okay, wait.
This was
don't
flipped
look
downwards.
Don't look at
these
my
are the questions
notes.
not to ask, and she's just pulled them out.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on, not for yourself in general, what are your thoughts on open marriage? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just can't understand
you don't get it.
How the fuck does it work?
How does it work? How does it work?
I mean, like, if you just take a simple scenario, you know your wife has gone out with this guy and they've fucked around and she's just come back. How are you sitting? And the other way also, right? If your husband has just gone around and fucked around with somebody and you just come back. What? Why? Then you shouldn't, but like, why are you married? Then it's what?
So I think the discussion is really this, okay? I think that there is a, no, I'm not going to call it conservative. I like using the word conventional because I'm very conventional in a lot of ways. And I think there's the conventional view of marriage. So I have friends who went ahead and became parents alone. They wanted to have children. In fact, I have a friend who divorced the guy she was with so that she could go off and have a child with a sperm donor. Because she knew that he and her were just not a good match, and she really wanted to be a mom, and she knew that she wanted to be a specific type of parent, which he would not have. So she's done a very, in my opinion, unconventional thing, which has worked out beautifully for her. She's not a conventional person. I would never have been able to do that. I'm a conventional person in that way. But her choice is brilliant because she knew what she wanted to do. So I guess for me, what I'm saying is, when now in 2025, there are so many ways to look at relationships, at living a life, whether single or not, being a parent or not, you know. there are people who think my husband and I not having children is unconventional, whereas because that's within my threshold, I don't think of it like that, right?
Yeah.
So open marriage now is just the next, like it's another step. Polyamory. I've been reading about this stuff. I'm fascinated
How
by
does
it.
it work?
I am too conventional.
Do you know anyone who has an open marriage?
I know people who are, I do. I mean, they're mainly gay people who have successfully navigated this. And again, I think it's because gay men and women have been relegated by us motherfucking straight assholes into like the fringes. And it's only in the last 40 years that, that's not lifestyle, it's how you are. And so they've been used to historically navigating being unconventional. So I think for them, they don't look at relationships the way we do with the same level of possessiveness, proprietariness, assuming that sex has to only be between two people. You can still be married yet have sex outside the marriage. But I was thinking of it differently. I was like,
these are,
I'm too conventional. No, and I do know one
Is it conventional or is it just like...
I think it's I think we have I would say you and I have a more conventional view of marriage because listen, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, young guys out here, no? How old are you guys?
They're both fucking single, first of all.
You're single?
You're not single? How old are you?
22.
And you're
22.
not single, right? We had this conversation before. How long have you been with your partner? 4 months.
You're 22 and married.
This is 4 months he's been dating.
You're dating.
You're in peak excitement, okay? You're peak excitement.
Yeah, but he's 22, no? He's also that age where
peak excitement,
just
everything is
talking
peak.
to somebody
Everything
else
peak.
would be...
No. He's proper. These are proper people. Yeah, you?
I'm not dating anybody there.
But how old are you?
Stand here.
Wait. How
All
old
of
are
you.
you? How old are you? You're 24.
Yeah.
I know her status and I know how old she is. She's very young also.
This open thing I still can't understand.
Would you be able to do open?
Hey, right now they have so much of...
I'll not be up for it.
You won't be up for open. Would you be up for open? Okay, so it's not an age thing.
I think
It's not an age
99% of the
thing.
people would not be up for open.
I agree with you.
You know?
There was a time when 99% of the people would not have been okay with not having kids also. The point I'm trying to make is that, yes, but there was a time. I am though.
If you're having a kid, please fuck around with
Listen,
everybody else.
no. I'm just saying that it's not, it is a different value system. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I couldn't do it because I have been raised differently.
Did you guys ever even discuss it? Were you even in the vicinity of being close to discussing it?
I mean, I've discussed it like that. Like, I'm
Really?
like, that couple
But that
over
must have
there,
been
they
for
seem
comedy
so
material.
happy. No. This is like
You must have
me
been writing a
actually
set.
trying to find like, it can be, no, there's no way we can do it. I know I can't, I'm not even going to have the conversation because it's pointless. But I know people who have at least tried it. For some people, it's not worked out at all. For others, it's like, okay, we tried it. It didn't freaking work. Let's just go back into the cocoon.
And they were okay.
They've had to work through it because you have to work through stuff in life, right? But I guess for me, this is
That is why therapy is thriving these days.
Isn't it amazing? Any problem you have, go to your
Couples are
therapist.
just fucking around so
100%.
much.
Go to the therapist. No, but listen, here's the thing. Life happens. Things happen. People make mistakes. People make them willfully. They make them by accident, whatever. But, you find ways to go back and find some sort of ground to stand on together. But for me, open marriage, it's like, it's always been about sexually open, right? Like we can go.
That's
the meaning of it. That's the
yeah.
meaning of it. But I'm like, why can't we expand the definition and be like, you know what? You're not a great dog walker. Like, I don't like being dog parents with you. Like, let me go have an open, let me have another person who's
people in marriage that exists in
have a
every
close
other.
friend.
Yeah, you'll always have that, right? You'll have a colleague you're very close to and
you're
have
my
emotional
work husband or
whatever, right? And these are all non-sexual scenarios, right?
Yes, correct. But they're very close.
But they're very close.
Yeah.
And so you will have those scenarios, which is absolutely fine, right? Because you might find a different flavor of emotions with somebody else or a friendship.
But there are people who have a problem with that too. They're like...
then you got to be a little mature about what that... I think emotionally people have the ability to love multiple people.
Yes.
Physically, they have the ability.
Yeah, they 100%
But if the other person knows about it, I think it's too complex
I don't
for
want my
anything to
husband
work.
fucking loving anyone either, by the way. Other
No,
than
I mean, if he has
other
a-
than my dog Susie.
If he has a great friend and you know it's just friendship.
Like a
and you're-
female friend?
Yeah, and you're very secure about it.
I would have to know that girl really well.
Yeah.
Like she and I would have to be
Like-
friends too.
Yeah. And be very secure about that
Yeah,
thing.
like my
right?
husband has a
Yeah.
couple of female friends who he's very close with, but I can tell you I am even closer with them now.
Yeah.
Because they made the effort to be close with me.
Yeah.
Because they had the good sense to know
Yeah.
that their relationship with him would probably not be as much fun
Yeah.
if I wasn't good friends with them.
Yeah.
I am too conventional for this.
But you need security for that, right? If you're secure enough for this, either which way, whether
Yeah.
they're friends with you or you know that
Yeah.
person and you're just secure about that. Like there are some people that Monica would speak to.
Yeah.
And even today, I
Yeah.
would have an issue because I know that guy is a sleaze.
So can I say something?
Yeah.
I watched this. There's a fantastic show called Insecure.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's on HBO, so you can watch
Yeah.
it anytime you want. But there's a scene where these three guys are sitting around talking about women cheating on them.
Yeah.
And one guy's married, and the other guy just mentions about how his girlfriend has a really close friend at work. And the married guy is like, "Oh no, my wife doesn't have any friends." And he's like, "What do you mean? Like, how do you know that he doesn't have?" He's like, "No, I don't believe in my wife having male friends. As far as I am concerned, that's just a lot of unnecessary extra dick lying around."
Which could be picked up
Which I was
any
like,
moment.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
A little too much,
Yeah.
but I mean, it should be
Yeah, in today's-
100% okay to have
In today's world,
close friends of both sexes.
between a man and a woman,
Yeah.
the possibility of that friendship or relationship
Burgeoning.
going sexual
Yeah.
is super high, right? It is just that
I
lot
think
of-
it always was. We just talk about it more. now.
Maybe we talk about
Yeah.
it more, and maybe those interactions are way more now
Yeah.
than they used to be with
Yeah.
other men or
100%.
with other women,
Yeah.
right? For that matter, at your workplace
Yeah,
or
yeah,
wherever,
yeah, yeah.
right? So I think the possibility of that happening
Yeah.
is very high.
Yeah.
And that is why you either need to be absolutely secure about your spouse's friend,
Yeah.
or you got to be very clear with your spouse about somebody. You get a wrong vibe. Sometimes with guys, now
Yeah.
you talk about this possessiveness
Yeah.
thing, right? And I'm sure these guys would agree. Sometimes it is not like if let's say we are dating,
Yeah.
right? And I'm being very possessive about one particular guy.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust you.
Yeah.
I don't trust him. You know what I mean? And just the idea of him.
Yeah, see, women are the opposite. We don't trust you,
Which
motherfucker.
is
We
fair.
trust all these girls because
Yeah.
they'll have our backs. But you, motherfucker,
Yeah.
you cheating, hooker, even before you start cheating, that's what I think of you.
Which is fair, right? Which is fair. Which is
We go in suspicious. We come in suspicious. So we don't trust the boyfriend ever.
Yeah.
We only trust the women around him. So if we don't trust the woman,
Then it's
a
a big
problem.
issue then.
It's a big problem.
Then it's guaranteed
Then it's
outside
guaranteed.
sex
That means
happening.
it's already happened. We're like, no, this is too much. Women
Yeah,
and men
I
think so
guess.
differently.
But yeah, so the sex
But
part,
net,
open marriage.
we
yeah.
both don't trust the guys.
Yeah.
Net.
It's the other guy. It's all
Yeah, it's
you know.
always
With
the other
guys,
guy.
it's always the other guy.
That's
That
funny.
friend she had before he
Yeah.
got into a relationship or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's that vibe that guy gives. That is
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, speaking of open marriage, I don't mind if my husband has open.
If your husband has an affair,
No, I mind everything. But I know this for a fact. But I will say that, and he probably minds it
just
too.
in case
Just in case.
he's
No,
watching and getting ideas. Nobody.
I don't mind if it's open for like family visits. Like if you need to take another girl to go meet your mom, who'll do a better job than me. By all means, have a girl for that. Have a lady
This
friend.
is your SNL. These are
Have
different
yeah.
sketches
Have a lady,
sketches
have
happening.
like 6 of them for
Yeah.
that. Because they won't last long with
Yeah.
your family. So
You got to, I think, at some point,
you
now,
are gonna
on a
have to.
serious note, at some point in a marriage,
Yeah.
you've got to be okay with your spouse having non-sexual,
Yeah.
but different relationships with different people in their lives.
do you apologize first to your wife? Like who's the apology? Like
Yeah,
who?
this is a very weird thing that happens,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it happens only in a marriage.
Yeah.
And some therapists would say that
Yeah.
it is a problem.
Yeah.
And it will blow up at some point. It
Yeah.
hasn't blown up as yet. But when we fight,
Yeah.
we don't. It is not a very deep fight ever.
Okay.
You know, it's not that we try to figure out some character, personality
Yeah.
issue.
So it's
Just
bickering. It's like it could be a high level.
Like I would get angry, or she would get angry, and it gets over right there.
Okay.
It doesn't boil down to.
Okay, but if it gets over right there, even
when
in that
nobody
situation.
apologizes.
Okay, so you're like and then
I
you're
swear,
back to normal life.
I swear,
Oh,
I'm not exaggerating. In 27 years,
No wonder you're fucking pro-marriage, dude.
I don't
You seem to
think-
have a very calm situation on your
I
hands.
don't think either one of us has said sorry to each other. for anything.
Love means never having to say you're sorry. You remember that from
Uh-huh.
Love Story, the movie?
Oh, I thought that was Maine Pyar Kiya.
No,
that
or
was
maybe
about
they stole
friendship.
it for sure. They stole it. But Love Story, the old like 1970s
it is always like
movie.
that, because for us, I think fundamentally, the whole thing was, it was never like, for instance, if an X thing happens,
Yeah.
right? Either I do it or she does it.
Yeah.
I don't, and neither does she. We don't
Yeah.
start questioning each other's intent.
Okay, so this is a big one, right?
Yeah.
I think that is the crux of it.
Yeah, I guess.
If
Yeah.
you have no questions about how the person actually feels about you, like if there's a fight and my first place that I go to is you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just went to the toilet without sending you a fucking
That was a bit
text
too much,
message.
by the way. Even for a comedian, that was a bit too much.
But
huh?
it's true.
Yeah.
This is my true life.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's me.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. Is that you went to the toilet without texting me,
Yeah.
and that's a lack of respect. And that is.
But was it that,
so,
or was it you were cranky about something else
no,
and you
but
took it out
it's
on him?
all these things put together,
Yeah.
right? And then I want the apology, and I'm giving a true situation
Yeah,
from
yeah.
like, where does my mind go? And
Huh.
you're absolutely right. If your mind stays in the moment of like, I just need to take a shit
Yeah.
in a hurry in the airport.
And you could even get angry. I'm saying get angry.
I can
what
get
a fucking
annoyed.
asshole.
I can get
Ah,
annoyed,
you
angry,
get
whatever.
irritated or whatever.
But I recognize that I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
So I go buy the,
Yeah.
then it gets over quickly. No one needs to apologize.
Yeah.
But if you're carrying so much baggage all the time,
Yeah, then it's an issue.
then it's an issue.
Yeah.
100%.
Then you-
So you
yeah.
guys, I have chosen a good partner for this podcast because he obviously has a different perspective from his own experience, which is
Also,
amazing.
I-
How do you even make jokes about your marriage? It sounds
I also
amazing.
want to. I also want to put it that it's not a marriage which doesn't have issues.
Of course
like
not.
there is this, like I'm 100% sure
Yeah.
that she's like probably is irritated about a zillion things with me, right? Of what I do.
Does she
and-
like how you dress?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, she hasn't complained.
That's amazing.
Like if I'm really looking bad, then
Yeah,
probably she
maybe
would tell
she'll
me.
say
But
something.
now, or maybe she won't. Yeah, she'll be like, yeah, go.
Yeah, go, asshole.
Go make a fool of yourself.
Good luck with open marriage.
Yeah.
And that shirt.
But so it's not a
No, I
perfect
like your
marriage.
shirt.
It's not a perfect marriage. It's like any other marriage. There are a lot of issues. She has
Okay.
issues. I have issues. But it's never like. She sleeps at 9 o'clock. She's too tired to
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Half the arguments get over because she's sleepy.
I always think people with kids, you guys only have one, but like I feel like people with 2 kids and stuff like that, I would just not have the time
To argue all the
to
patience.
feel
yeah.
anything
Yeah.
beyond being
Yeah.
just miserably tired and just worrying
Just
about
leave
these
me
2
alone,
people
yeah.
being alive.
Yeah. I guess so. But it has issues. But I think one of the things, and as I'm saying it, I'm realizing it when I said
Yeah.
it, that it is, I have never questioned her intent
Yeah.
or her emotions about me.
Yeah, I
And
think my
I
husband's
don't
like
think
you. I don't
we-
think he questions my intent. I question his intent
Yeah.
way too much. So like my new show it's called How I Met My Mother-in-Law. I called it Jat Bahu first because I'm married to a Jat and then I called it How I Met My Mother-in-Law. And it is a lot about like the
That's a two sides of the spectrum
I know
in terms
it is.
of
I know.
naming a
I
show.
know. It is. But I wanted my mother-in-law in there because she plays such an important part in the man my husband has become.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't like to admit it. But I feel like I've calmed down so much more that I'm able to look back at all the nonsense because that's another thing with dating or living together for a long time before you get married, and you're in your sort of late 20s where you're like, this is kind of stupid. Like, why am I here? And then you do stupid shit that then has to live with you for the rest of your lives, right? Because you're going to be married to each other. So I think that I let go of a lot of stuff. So I was able to actually talk about it in the show. But it is true that people without baggage have more understanding when they're in relationships than people who hold on to baggage.
Yeah.
Baggage is such a bad idea.
In fact, in the show that I've started touring now, spoiler alert, I talk about this.
Wait, is your show called Spoiler Alert?
Yeah.
It's called Spoiler Alert.
It's
I
called
love
Spoiler
that
Alert.
name.
Yeah. So the whole concept of spoiler alert came from this idea that when we talk about movies and all, we have this term spoiler
Yeah, of
alert.
course.
Like, don't tell me the plot or the twist or the ending because the whole excitement of the movie
Yeah.
will go away. And my question in the show is, why don't we have a spoiler alert in life? Why do
Yeah.
you want to know what will happen 5 years, 10 years down the
Yeah.
line? Right? Let life surprise you.
Yeah.
Because in any case, nothing happens as you planned. So that's the theme of the
Yeah.
show. But in any case, to coming back to the point, I actually speak about this thing of that my wife sleeps early and we don't have time for argument. And there is this point that I make, obviously in a funny manner, but the serious point behind this is that what if she doesn't, like if she stays awake one night? I dread that night when she doesn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because 27 years like, of baggage will blow up that night.
Yeah.
So I don't know, while it sounds very nice when I say that, there's no baggage and we're cool and it's never the intent.
Yeah.
But maybe there is. Maybe someday it will blow up, at least from us. I know it's not from my side, but maybe she blows up someday. I'll have to write a full solo show on that.
No, I think you guys have passed that point.
Yeah, if it had to, it would have happened by
and
now.
even if there's, it just be like, it won't be a blow up. It'll be more like, Anshu, I'm done with you and your striped shirts. Goodbye.
Now,
whatever. I think, you know what, we just need to coexist separately.
And 2 separate rooms now.
Yeah.
Let's have our own TV.
Yeah, let's have our own shit.
Yeah, and the dog is mine.
Yeah, the son is yours.
Yeah, the son is
Pay
yours.
for everything, whatever, yeah. What does she think of your comedy?
She's, she loves it.
She does? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
she loves it.
Yeah. I feel like my husband thinks I'm funny too.
Yeah.
It would be sad if he didn't.
That's the end of marriage.
Horrible.
That's the end of
all the horrible things.
If ever they were bold enough to say it to our face, it'd be over.
I
would break our
wonder if he
marriage.
doesn't think I'm funny and he's just been faking it.
I don't know whether she's faking it or not. It's like difference between open marriage and having an extramarital affair that nobody knows about, right? If she tells me that she doesn't like my comedy, it's the open marriage, it's over.
In a comedian's life, I would say faking your laughter is worse than faking your orgasm. People, please fake the orgasms.
And
just
we know
don't
it. So don't fake it.
The real laughter, it's got to come from the gut.
No, she's okay with comedy, and I crack a whole lot of jokes on her.
Yeah.
And while you were talking about this anger thing in your earlier sets,
Yeah.
I was thinking, it has come from a place of obviously irritation.
Yeah.
Something that she has done
Yeah.
that I'm irritated about, but it's never been anger. Yeah, it's never been anger. It's always irritation, and I try to then put the joke back on me.
Yeah.
But now I think it's, like I said, now when I even talk about, forget marriages, even just normal relationships, right? When I speak to these younger folks and they're talking about their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and there is so much overthinking happening in relationships.
Yeah.
Every move is being analyzed. This whole nonsense when it came down, this red flag, green flag nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, he did this, that's a red flag. Oh, there's nobody, you're not keeping a debit credit notebook here out there. It's a relationship. You'll not get a perfect human being.
I think what we mean by
You're overdoing
by
that
red,
shit.
yeah, maybe, but like there are freaking red flags.
Yeah, if you're a rapist in that flag, you've
No,
identified
but
it's a
like
very different
even if
thing.
you're like, there are certain behavioral patterns that are good enough that you should look at them to know that you're not going to be a good match with this person long term.
Yeah, then you know what happens is, because
Yeah.
you're giving too much importance to that,
Yeah.
and you don't have the idea or the notion of saying, hey, you will have to at some stage,
Yeah.
on some points, compromise. If these are regular red
Yes.
flags, so to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
If he's a fucking rapist or that kind of a thing.
Wife
those-
beating,
Yeah,
yeah.
those are very different.
Too much
right?
temper.
Yeah, those are very
drinking a lot.
Those are very
Yeah.
different, right? Those are genuine
Yeah.
red flags or whatever. But if you start making everything into, oh, this is a problem, that
But
is
do you
a
think
problem.
people do that?
Oh, they now do that.
Like,
yeah.
give me an example of a stupid red
Like
flag.
something, you would, you'd be at a restaurant and one day you're just talking about yourself because you've had some issues
Yeah.
and, oh, this guy only talks about himself all the time. Like, Jesus Christ, let him talk, yeah. You will also get an opportunity. It's not a red flag. It's a moment that happened.
Right.
You might be irritated. You've just been rude to somebody.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yeah.
He has anger issues. No,
Yeah.
it's just a moment in time that this happened. Unless, of course, if it happens regularly, that's a different matter. But I think this generation
Again,
now...
Anshu's friends, you guys have been doing this. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
it's the younger people that I
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
to, and
Are you guys doing this red flag shit?
or are others doing to you?
Are you not listening to me? You're totally
Go
zoning
stand in
out.
the corner, finger on your lips.
Everyone's zoning out. They don't even
Uh-huh.
care. Okay, wait. Let me ask you this question. Do you guys try to be romantic? Like, do you
No,
try
no.
and do romantic stuff? Like,
She's
date?
the most unromantic person
No, but
in the
do
whole
you
world.
try and do
I have
romantic
given
stuff?
up. I tried. I gave up very early. I was like, she's
What
not
did you
romantic.
try? What was your?
Yeah,
what was
I don't
your,
know.
What was your move?
Yeah, the whole, even the simplest move of, just putting in some nice music and dimming the lights and all, and she'd be like, "What the fuck are
I
you
can't
playing?
see what is going on. I don't like your music.
What kind of fuck all music is this?" So she's not romantic at all.
Okay.
Like maybe she's not romantic with me.
Maybe she's not romantic
because she
with you. Does
watches
find
all
it
these
annoying?
chick flicks and these old era movies where there's massive,
there's
she's
nothing but
watched Pride and
romance.
Prejudice like a zillion
that's
times.
Romantic, yeah.
She likes to watch all that, but she's not one of those super romantic people.
So my husband and I also not, and
both of you.
Him definitely not. He's a Jat from Haryana. I think we have to at least.
Yeah, I'm also a Jat from Haryana, by the way.
Are you really
yes,
a Jat from Haryana?
Yeah.
Where in Haryana are you?
Like I was born and brought up in Delhi, but yeah.
Okay, so you're
my father came from Haryana. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where in Haryana do you know?
So there is a village between Sonipat and Panipat. It's called Larsoli. So that's where my dad came from. Yeah.
I wish I could Khod. Khod is my mother-in-law's village, and my father-in-law's is somewhere close to Patodi, so it's on that road. But he's hardcore Gurgaon boy, born and raised. Anyway, whatever. So he's not like romantic, but I remember when we lived in New York. Again, it was not social media, but it was society, and this whole date night thing of like couples should go on date nights. Like that's how you keep it alive. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's resurrect this dead fish of a fucking marriage, and we're going to do date night. We live in New York, we're going to be like every other fucking couple here, we're going on date night. And invariably something would go so badly wrong with this, like me forcing something, right?
Yeah.
And so once I made us go on date night, and so we were going to go to this restaurant that I really liked. And it wasn't an expensive restaurant, it was just a cool place. And so we go and we sit down, and the waiter gives us our menus. And I noticed my husband's being really, like, he's very restless and he's trying to look over to see what I'm ordering and everything. I'm like, what's going on? And then I discover that he's got a Groupon. So a Groupon is a coupon.
Of course
which
I know.
you can download from a website. You have to be a member, whatever. And you get a discount, like a big discount at the restaurant. And he must have been overjoyed firstly that the restaurant I'd picked had a big discount. But the problem was they only gave you the discount on specific items and not on all the items. And I was managing to pick the items that weren't on the Groupon. And
red flag, I tell ya.
I felt like his cheapness was a red flag. His cutting, I mean, I should have known. We've already married, unfortunately, by then. Whatever, I know it's working out, let's put it that way. But we had a fight in the restaurant, the waiter was laughing at us, we left in a half, but I ate my fucking non-Groupon meal before that. I'm going to screw this guy, he's going to pay full price for this fucking meat. I mean, we're just so angry with each other. And I feel like the only time, like I was just collecting stories for you, the only time my husband's tried to be romantic and again fell flat. So this was my idea of romance. And then his idea of romance was, then we just accepted that we're not romantic people. Let's just go out to eat. Let's not call it anything. Let's just go out to eat. We used to get high and go out and eat. Build up big appetite. And then it would be like a food fight, basically. Just like, give me this, give me that. Two greedy people.
That's a way of romance.
And then just come home and go to fucking bed because you're so full, right? Like that was fine. That just became our date night. But I remember once Deepak came home from work and he was like, I have something. And I was like, okay. He's like, I bought something. So I'm like, he's gone and bought a vibrator for sure. Like that's the only way any man could be looking so fucking cocky and pleased with himself. And then he holds up a bag for Century 21, which for anyone who doesn't know, Century 21 was this big department store near where we lived. A discount department store. So it was the place people went to get everything for less. So obviously my husband's shop there. And again, red flag, which I should. But anyway, so he's gone and he's got this big Century 21 bag. And I'm like, what is that? And he pulls out satin sheets.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's do it. And then he's like, of course, bitch, go make the bed. And I'm like, no, you're helping me make the bed. And these are not
That's not how it happens in Haryana.
And in the West, by the way, you don't have like tuck-in sheets. You have those fitted sheets. They're a pain to put on, okay? And the satin sheet business was making it even harder. Anyway, by the time we finished making the bed, the two immigrants from India finished, making the satin sheets and the pillow cover and everything. And I'm like, already sweating and annoyed. And I cannot tell you, they were the most uncomfortable sheets. And then I'm like checking the fucking, like, they're like 5% satin and 95% polyester because they're on discount.
You're
They're like extremely, they're not turning
You're looking at
anyone.
the tag also.
I'm like, I knew you'd do this.
That's
You
the-
cheap.
You're the one who kills romance here.
Murdered
A
it.
jart guy trying to give you satin.
But I feel like that was the red flag, the jart. The jart was
I think
the
you
red
looking
flag.
at the tag was the red flag. You killed romance in.
Let's just say it's too
In the
late.
Haryana boy, yeah.
It's too late for me to do anything.
Yeah.
But I do, spoiler alert, I do talk about trying to get a divorce in my show.
Yeah.
And
I think
why it didn't
every
end up.
couple thinks about two things at some point.
What
One
are
is killing their spouse.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
And second is what would life be if we get a divorce?
Yeah.
You know? 100%.
We've talked about that, by the way. We've
Yeah.
not talked about open marriage so
Yeah.
much, but we've talked about what life would be if we got a divorce. At least I've talked about it.
Would you be okay with that? Like, is yours, when you build that scenario for yourself,
See, but I build a very ideal scenario. Like I build the scenario where everyone's super friendly, where I get the apartment, where my car's not been confiscated, where there's no problem.
yeah.
And that's not going to be the case.
I'll be fucked if you're divorced here. I'll have zero friends.
I feel I'll be fucked.
I'll have zero friends.
Yeah.
Because all our friends are
Oh, we'll be there. The comedy community will
the
be there
comedy
for you,
community.
buddy.
Yeah. We'll just be at podcasts and all. But I'll have nothing here. I'll have no friends. All our friends.
Do you think your kid will take sides?
Oh, wife's side.
1,000%.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%. I'll be fucked. And I'm not even talking financial fucking or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Just as a...
Oh, I only care about that.
No,
I don't
I
care
could
about
see that. I
anything
could see
else.
that.
I don't care about anything but money.
Yeah.
I will be so screwed. I can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere. My husband knows it too. I mean, he's like, fine, whatever.
What is his scenario? Has he told you?
I think my husband makes a great married guy because I was thinking about this as we were talking. His threshold for boredom is very high.
Huh.
So, like, you know,
He needs,
his hobbies, if you think about them, marathon running,
Yeah.
triathlons, these long cycle rides, anything that's very long and requires a lot of endurance, he's very good at.
He's good for marriage.
Yeah, so I feel he was built for this boring shit.
This is a long...
So he doesn't see anything wrong with anything that we're doing.
He's the
like,
Iron Man of
you
marriage.
need to leave, go ahead. There's
Yeah.
the door.
Monica would be very happy if he get... Like, she would be able to manage if he get divorced. Not many things would go out of her current life. If she would get the dog, she would get her
I
son.
feel my friends would naturally not take sides because we've all been friends for too long.
Yeah, you have good friends. Like, you've been nice to your friends.
I've
I am
kissed
not.
up to his.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and he's kissed up to mine.
Have you ever had issue with his friends?
No. One of the things we have that I give my husband and has been the reason I think we've stayed married so long is because he is amazing with my friends
Yeah.
and my parents. I would not have been
Yeah.
able to be with anyone who didn't treat the people
Family.
I think of as family
Yeah.
as family. Like, that's important. Like, I shouldn't have to do that for you,
Yeah.
but you got to do that for me. So for me,
Yeah.
that was critical and that is taken care of. And hence, I mean, I think my parents would take sides. I have a feeling my dad would just take my husband's side.
I would lose my mom. I would lose...
I wouldn't lose my
her
mom
parents.
because she already totally loves me more than she loves my
Nah.
husband. I wouldn't lose my
I would
mother.
pretty much lose
I would
everyone.
lose my dad.
Huh.
Yeah, I would lose my dad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lose any of my friends. I don't think I'd lose any friends. Friends would not be a problem, but yeah, financially I would be a wreck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be
I would just have money, that's it. Just everybody would leave me.
I would not even have that.
Everybody would leave me.
I wouldn't be able to do my podcast. It's too expensive. On that note, so we're not getting divorced from our spouses.
Yeah, no way.
We're staying in the
No way,
marriage.
we'll
And
be
no
fucked.
open marriage.
Yeah, no open marriage. Yeah.
Let's just sum this up. So we're not getting divorced.
Yeah.
No open
No
marriage.
open marriage.
And we both feel like we would be the losers if there was a separation.
Yeah. We're just lucky to have whoever we have in our lives.
Yeah,
right
for
now.
sure.
For good or
sure.
for bad. Yeah.
So that's it, I guess. To be happy in a marriage, you have to have a high threshold of boredom. You have to marry someone who has a high threshold for boredom.
Yeah.
And
Just
that's
take it easy.
guys.
Yeah. Just take it easy.
Take it easy.
Fuck the flags.
He's saying ignore the red flags.
Fuck the flags. Yeah.
I'm
There's
a
no
girl,
red
so-
flag. There's no green
Listen,
flag.
wait,
It's
wait,
just
wait,
a
hang
bloody
on.
fucking human being.
Send me the flags. And I've been married 20 years. I have some flags I wish I had looked out for, but I was desperate to get married, so I didn't. And I'll tell you if you're on the right track or not. But thank you.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
was good
you,
fun.
Anshu.
Yeah?
This
is
was so
good
much fun. And thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the link
How
with
do you
all
know-
your
how do you
friends.
know where to
I don't
point?
know. I'm just doing whatever the fuck
So
I
they'll
feel
put
like.
that thing
They'll
there.
do it.
You should do this all weird places.
I'd like to do that. We're done.
Hey, but support our podcast, yeah.
Support my podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, dude.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
We can stop. I'll cut it at some point.